All right, this is an amendment form, and it's a pretty standard form used for most amendments here in Florida. And we've made 3 different amendment forms. They're all basically the same form. This one's just called the blank one because it's blank in the amendment space. But there's also one to extend the closing date, where it just has a line for the new date that you want to extend it to. And the other form is to change the sale price, which has just a line to do that. And on this one, the blank one, you can amend anything. And actually, a quick point on amendments. An amendment comes after the contract's been signed. There's another form called an addendum that changes the contract before it's signed. Since they sound pretty similar, sometimes people use the word interchangeably, but they're different. So I just wanted to point that out. So addendum before, amendment after. Anyway, this form is pretty straightforward. I have the blank one up now, but you might be looking at the date change or the price change one. Basically, there's just one line to fill out on those, and it's pretty self-explanatory, really. All right, and like always, I will point out the wizard at the top of the page here should be green by default, which means it's turned on. And you know, the wizard is what shows the explanation and walks you through the form like so. You can turn the wizard off and you can still see the descriptions, and they aren't as pretty, but turned off, it won't walk you through the form. So however you want to do it, it's up to you, but just be aware that that's what it does. And also be aware that by clicking the X in the corner here, it also turns off the wizard, which is kind of annoying, but just know that that's what's happening if you click the X. If you want to close a box here and keep the wizard on, just click outside it and it'll close the box like so. All right. Getting into this one, you'll start with a space for the buyer or the seller. And this video, I'm just doing it from the buyer's perspective here, but if you're doing it from the seller, it's just the same thing, except you fill in the seller except for the buyer. All right. Now we're going to enter the buyer name here, and be sure you enter the name the way it appears on the main contract. And we were John and Jane Smithsonian. All right, and I'm going to close out of that wizard box there. And next you come to the effective date, which is the date of the last signature on the main contract. And we'll just say that was, I don't know, we'll say it was March 4th, just for a date. And we're entering the property address. All right. And then we come to the big space, which is the space for the terms and conditions that you want changed on the contract. Or if you're just changing the price or the date, you just enter it in the line. There's just one line there. So we'll just type something to type something. A demo. All right. And that's it for that. Now, then we come to the signature, where there's a space for both the buyer and the seller to sign. If you're the first one to sign it, you'll see a space here, but if you're not, then you'll see the other parties already signed it. Then you will have a blank just like this to fill in. So we'll do a signature, John Smithsonian, and we're going to do the date, which we'll put today's date. And remember, if there's a second signature, if you click sign, it's just going to re-enter John Smithsonian. So we're going to do new, add a new signature, Jane Smithsonian, sign, and enter the current date. And that should do it. That's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Just click the done at the top here, submit it, good to go, and that should be it. All right. If you have questions, again, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks.